When I was 14 years old, my dad was transferred to Chicago to work for this big oil company. He'd been working for them in various positions for a number of years, but we moved every 2 or 3 years. And we were leaving the shadows of the everlasting hills to go to Chicago. And I didn't know what to expect, but I was going to be going my first year in high school as a freshman into a school that had 4,000 kids. 4,000 kids. And there were only 2 of us that belonged to my church. 2. We used to call ourselves Mormons back in that day. And it's the night before I'm going to start school. And my dad comes in, sits on the edge of my bed and says, "Wow, big day tomorrow. High school, big high school." He says, "Good luck." I said, "What do you mean?" He says, "It's going to be scary. I mean, you're the only member of our church with 4,000 kids, and this is in the 60s when everybody's kind of, there's going to be dope and drinking, and people are going to wonder how many wives your dad has, and can you dance, and they'll probably tease you, and you'll probably get mocked. And that may be really hard because you've been such a great kid. You've come to church with the family. You're a good boy. But I just want you to know, you can't live on borrowed light, Michael." Excuse me? You just can't live on borrowed light. I said, what does that mean? He said, "Well, you've been coming to church with your mom and I, and you've been good about it. And you've kind of trusted that this was a good church for you to go to, and that what we're teaching you makes sense. But there comes a point in every person's life where they have to decide what they believe about God, about heaven, about the purpose of life. Not because this is what my dad believed, or this is what my mom said was true, or this is not what everybody I went to school with believes. You have to choose for yourself. And that may mean that at some point in your life you'll say, "Dad, thanks for raising me as you did, but I'm not buying it." So here's what I want you to know. You're going to meet some great kids from a lot of different churches, a lot of different religions, a lot of different backgrounds. And they may invite you to go do things with them. Go. Learn things from them. Ask questions of them. And if you come back after kind of going, because there were a lot of Catholics where we were, or a lot of young life people, or born-again Christians, or even Buddhists, if after you've kind of checked it out for a few years, and you say, "Dad, I'm really grateful that you believe what you believe, but guess what I figured out? This is what works for me." And I said, it was like he was giving not just permission, but he was saying, because at the moment that you figured out what you believe, you don't have to talk everybody else in the world to believing what you believe, because you know what you believe. You've felt like your prayers were answered, you feel comfortable, and so now you can open up your heart to these great things somebody else believes and go, that is so interesting. Maybe I can learn something from them. Maybe I can see things differently from them. Maybe I can be comfortable in my own skin and in my own religion because I figured this out, that my relationship with God is dependent upon my relationship with God, not, I guess I can't be your friend unless I go to church with you, or you can't be my true friend unless you see it just the way I do, and you have to see it just the way your parents told you it is. What a gift. I mean, for the rest of my life, it was like, yeah, and I started asking the questions, and I went to the meetings, and I had catechism classes from some friends, and I went to some young life things, and the amazing thing is that when my friends found out my tradition, they would protect me. I was the designated driver as I got a little bit older, because, Mike, you can't drink from that. Your people don't drink. And no, you can't smoke this. You guys don't smoke. They were going to protect me because they knew a little bit of my tradition and honored what I did. And then as things evolved, I felt really, really comfortable. And I was so grateful that my dad taught me early that he had faith in me. Not faith that, oh, you'll check this all out and you'll come back to where I raised you. No, I want you to look me in the eye and say, Dad, let me tell you what I believe. What a great gift. And I hope as your grandfather that I give you the same kind of permission. And that when we chat about things, about the nature of spiritual things, the nature of who you are, the nature of what the purpose of life is, that you will know that I'm sharing what has worked for me, not because I want you to make sure you grow up the way Grandpa tells you to, because you will only really belong if you agree with me, but that you will grow up knowing that I'm here to encourage you and support you to find the truth that you did not borrow from your parents or from your friends, but you got it for yourself.